Now, 130 million Americans are expected to vote in tomorrow's presidential election. Over 50% of female voters admit that their impression of the First Lady impacts on how they vote. So it seems that the candidate's choice of wife is as important as his choice of policies. But what separates a Jackie Kennedy from a Hillary Clinton? And how is Anne Romney faring against the incumbent First Lady, Michelle Obama? Here to tell us more about the history of First Ladies and their impact on American politics, please welcome author and playwright Bonnie Greer, Daily Mirror fashion director Amber Morales and social commentator William Hanson. So, William, is First Lady really that important?
Yes, it is important. It's an unpaid job, but it is still very important, and it's changed over the years as each First Lady has come and gone. And I mean, traditionally it is the hostess of the country, the hostess of the White House. It's there to do the social engagements of the White House, which of course can have a political agenda as well. Now, Jacqueline Kennedy really changed the role, and even ladies such as Michelle Obama, she almost is emulating what Jacqueline Kennedy has done in certain regards, because before Jacqueline came into the White House, it was quite austere, the White House both figuratively and literally. And then Jacqueline Kennedy sort of revamped it and made it look a little plusher and redid it and brought some glamour to it and started inviting celebrities to parties at the White House.
This is obviously a great plus, Bonnie, but would it really affect the way you voted? Or would it just be a bit of a bonus?
Well, in a way, what William says is right. It is a bit of a bonus, but of course, the end of the day, it's about the president. The First Lady is the spouse. She sets a certain tone. She's like any sort of spouse. You know, you look at her, check her out. If you like her, maybe you'll like him. So the First Lady always gives a speech at the convention, as Anne Romney did, Michelle Obama, and it gives you a window into, you know, if you like this lady and she married this guy, then he must be okay. So it's how Americans are very, you know, we're very emotional about the presidency. It's a very emotional thing. So she's another way into understanding who he is.
And Amber, what she looks like and what she wears is obviously hugely important as well. I mean, Jackie Kennedy was the icon in that respect. You know, it's a look which has never left the public's consciousness, really. Just as important today.
Well, it is important. Also, I think America's probably been starved a little bit of style where the First Lady is concerned, because look at Jackie Kennedy. They are, how do you step into those shoes? Michelle Obama did step into those shoes, and look at how popular she's been as a result of that. She's used fashion. She's very, very clever with it. She makes choices. She's reached out to a younger demographic, I think. I mean, the picture that we've got of her at when she made her speech, she's wearing a Tracy Reese dress. It's a deliberate decision to wear a dress that was $385. Her message is, look at me, you can do this, you can look like me.
What do we think of Hillary Clinton, then? Did she not cut the mustard?
I always feel a little bit sorry for Hillary Clinton. I think she struggled with the style. She actually attacked a journalist who asked her where her outfit was from the other day, and she said, you wouldn't ask a man.
But you know, Hillary is the first baby boomer First Lady, and she's very much about her education, about her refusing to fit into that sort of mold, which, in the strange way, Michelle is kind of a throwback, because she had a lot of pressure to do that. Michelle comes from the same kind of background. She's a lawyer as well, all of that. But now we're in more of a feminine style. We want to see women in dresses, and I think it softened Michelle for a lot of people because they were a little afraid of her at the beginning.
It's made her approachable, I agree. And also I think she learnt from Jackie Kennedy, and she's been very clever. You can use fashion, you can use your image to make people see you in a certain way.
Can it get in the way, though, William? You know, thinking of Jackie Kennedy, there's an awful lot devolved on her. Maybe sometimes it rather took away from the presidential role.
Yes, and it shouldn't really be there to distract. It should be there to complement what their husband is doing. Jacqueline Kennedy really knew her own mind and loved the job that she did. I mean, obviously her time in the White House was sadly cut short, and she then said to her Secret Service detail after that, when they were in Washington, please, I don't want to see the White House. Don't drive me anywhere near it if we're going through Washington, because it brought back such emotion for her, because she loved time and she revamped it.
What about Mrs. Romney versus Mrs. Obama, Bonnie? How does that feel?
Well, you know, this is one of the reasons why this is going to be fascinating. Anne Romney is also a baby boomer. She's exactly from the generation of Hillary, and she's the other side of that generation. She's very much the stay-at-home mom, the very much what we call in America the Betty Crocker, stir the pot, blah, blah, blah type woman, which is a wonderful thing, too. So, in a sense, it's going to be that kind of what America do Americans want to choose. Do they want to go back to that image, or do they want to go forward, which is what the Obamas represent? And for Americans, it's a very emotional thing. Anne Romney is spectacular. She's wonderful. But she represents that kind of very comfortable late 60s, just before the revolution starts, I'm at home, honey, I'm home type woman. And so it's a big choice.
It's clear from what you've all been saying, really, that Michelle Obama is regarded as a success in the fashion takes and the way she presents herself. Can we look at our candidates, if you like, over here, our First Ladies? Is it the same, Amber? Is it the same profile for the likes of Samantha Cameron?
I think you can draw parallels, definitely, and I think we're probably learning. If you look at Michelle Obama, she obviously is president of the American Fashion Council. Samantha Cameron is an ambassador for the British Fashion Council. She's front row at London Fashion Week. She's wearing young designers. Michelle Obama champions young designers. So I think we're learning, I think we're getting there, and I think Samantha Cameron certainly looks great.
Well, I mean, you know, I suppose you could compare Sarah Brown to Hillary Clinton, who wouldn't regard herself as a fashion icon, and that, in a way, Bonnie, I mean, can be regarded as laudable.
But, you know, the thing is, we've got two different tracks running in this country. We've got a real First Lady, who is Her Majesty. We've got the Duchess of Cambridge, who's coming on now. And then we've got the politicians' wives. So we, as a country, are split twice. We're looking this way, and we're looking that way. And so, in a sense, fashion editors like Amber kind of sort of have these two competing visions that they're looking at, and we don't really want our politicians to be ahead of our real First Lady, and at the same time we want her, because we understand the transience of it. So it's for me a fascinating division.
Does the royal family then, or the royal women in a way, William, take the pressure off our First Ladies, our Prime Minister's wives?
I think it can do for some of them, and actually some of the politicians' wives choose not to be in the public spotlight and continue with careers. Even Samantha Cameron, up until recently, held a directorship of a large company, and Nick Clegg's wife is very rarely seen at public events, as is Ed Miliband's wife. So yes, we've got the royal family, and the Kennedys, Jacqueline Kennedy in particular, provided the majesty that America doesn't have. They were the closest they have ever got to a royal family, whereas we have one.
Can I put you all on the spot, then? We're almost there. Who's going to win, Obama or Romney? William, you're first.
I think Obama will just about scrape through.
You think he'll get there? Bonnie?
I think Obama, because he understands social media and he understands the other conversation that we're having in the world right now. So he'll win because of that.
And Michelle will enjoy a second term if she gets it.
Michelle will be a very different person, I predict. She has been sort of damped down now. And I'm from the same part of town as Michelle, so I know this lady. She's going to be very different, very exciting, very interesting fashion is going to come as well.
Amber?
I say Obama.
Obama.
And again, I agree with you. I think it's because they reach out to a younger demographic, and I think they really do speak out for America.
Well, either or, it's going to be a very interesting few years ahead, whoever gets in there. My thanks to my two favourite First Ladies, Bonnie Greer and Amber Morales, and to William Hanson. Thank you very much indeed.